problem with using the Charisma chassis on the Dinky Dino is partly the steering. It toes out quite a bit and the servo is lame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a direct link, because as much as you turn this, I can still get a finger in. And I've got a feeling if I put a straight bar across, it still won't touch. So I'm going to make up a new link. So let's get the top ripped off for that. And also I'm going to fit a new Endura 30 kilo servo, because it hasn't got the power for the weight of the body as well. There we go, there's the servo to rip out. And one of the things you can see, it's got a really long cable to go to the back. I'm moving the electrics anyway more forwards, and then it'll fit any servo that way. I don't know, I think they put it backwards because they had the battery forwards, which I can't have a forward, well I can have a forward battery but I'm not too fast. So I'm going to get the servo changed over, and like I said, we'll start boxing in a bit more. Yeah, I can't remember what kg this servo was, but I think it's low. It's only about an 8. But it will go in elsewhere. Won't be wasted. Well, I might probably use it in this truck on the gun part. I think they used some thread lock on the servo, because that was a crack and a half. And there we go, the old servo removed, Charisma. So I'm going to get the new one in, and then we'll go from there. It's only got a plastic arm, so that'll have to be replaced. Hopefully, because the thing is, the way this is designed, it's screwed in, and they do seem to like to use a really strong thread lock, and that can be very annoying. The new servo is in, it works. I've put a metal arm on, and basically now what I'm going to do is make the bar, and then see here it's only screwed into plastic. Well, I'm going to change that and put a screw from below, and it will have a nut on top, so that'll be stronger and have less movement, because there's quite a bit of movement in that, so the steering can flex around too much. So we're going to improve that. The same, we'll keep it the same this end, but it should go together. We might have to sort of make it up as we go along, but we'll see, because if you look, there's a ball joint there already, so it might lower this arm down a bit, but that won't hurt because it seems quite long, the arm. But if we have to make another arm, you make another arm until you get it how you want it. There we go, the steering is done. You can see it's a straight bar. I know I've got to add an outer tube, but I can't make that till a little later, and that will make it look really nice. But the thing is, this is the original steering, and it's lower now, if you can see. It's not so spaced out, so it's a little bit more rigid, but we've got maximum travel each way, and even with the bar on the outer tube, it's not going to touch the pumpkin. So why put on this? I don't know whether it makes it steer slightly different, but I can't see it because it connects at the end. If it connected into the middle, I could understand, but with an end connection to the end, it's just a distance, which this bar is doing. I know it's to clear, but with these little collars going into loose plastic, they're not as tight as these are. So literally all I've got to do now is, like I said, make the tube, thread lock the bits up, and that's the servo sorted. More power, but simplified in my opinion, because this was really highly spaced. I might even change this screw out for a shorter one because I think it's way too long, so there isn't so much sticking out. That one's not too bad, but that is way too much. But I still can't understand using this when it's not really needed, you know. I've not really changed the geometry of the steering at all. There we go. I just done a basic box in on a lot of the stuff. Just made a hole to run the servo link through. Made a hole for the motor, and I put Deans on the connection to the ESC, and then just filled in the back. So it's not solidly matched in perfectly, it just does it easy. But it gives me somewhere now to build a battery box. So I'm going to build that next and fit that in. Now to mount the battery, I've 3D printed a box with a strap underneath. It will go in with 2 screws and 2 nuts, hopefully. I've just got to mark up the holes. It fits my Z battery perfectly. There's a couple of countersunk holes. Like I said, really simple, but it will do the job. So I'll get this in, and this will hopefully be the base electrics all set up. There we go, the new battery holder is in. 2 bolts solid. Just got to decide how the electrics will be put. They're only loose at the moment. I've just got to think about that a little bit. But like I said, I won't be taking it off the chassis so much now because we'll be adding like fine bits to the body. But like I said, I've got plenty of room for electrics, but I'm keeping the rear as clear as possible, as you can guess, for when we eventually get to this part of the project, which will be, well, that will be blanked in for now because I'll work separate once I've got it sort of the rest most of the way. But this concludes this part of the Dinky, sorting all the electrics, or the base electrics out.